Hi guys, it's Brendan from Messages from the Ordinary Man. My mate's name is?
Harry.
You are not Harry.
No, this week.
Come on, what's your name?
Harry. Working over at the base, a nurse.
He's so full of caca.
Yep.
You're
And the working thing is not true either.
Oh really?
Yeah,
You're a contract nurse, stop lying. Liar, liar, pants on bloody fire. Hey, what's going to happen is we're going to have a few seconds because he's going to go to a certain place which I'm pretty sure his partner doesn't want to know where he's about to go to, called the bottle shop. And from there we'll get back to you. Okay.
And
oh my God.
I don't know, never had a bottle shop like it.
Well mate, welcome to Tasmania.
Yeah, if you could just find anything, you'd be doing well.
Hey, come on, we're not that bad. You got to hang out with me for how many weeks now?
Oh, a couple.
Yeah.
It's been at least 4. It's almost like a relationship.
Yeah, without the sex. Thank God. That's all I'm going to say. So can I firstly share, mate? It's been an absolute pleasure looking after you, mate. Like, you know, I tell you what, fellow Queenslanders, got to look after each other, mate.
Sure have. If you can find any over here, you just got to. When you don't find someone with a scar on the neck, it's either that they're a brand new baby or they haven't been, they come from somewhere else. And it generally isn't Tasmania, it's more like Kurdistan, Pakistan.
Oh, whatever stan?
Yes, any other stan.
So, being truthful, you are a registered nurse.
Yes.
And no, I think it's great, mate. And actually, being really serious, I just want to thank you for what you do. Because a lot of people out there don't actually thank the doctors and the nurses for doing a really hard job. You normally are the ones that get abuse and, you know, they treat you like absolute horseshit.
I don't know about the doctors, but they do very little over here. I'm sure they're trying to get the back door into Australia.
Well,
but that's only the doctors. The nurses are pretty good.
I think they're very, very good. Okay, guys, we'll be back in about 30 seconds. He'll be right. He'll be right back. We're going to get there in the end.
We're close to the sea. We might turn this thing into a boat.
Hey, mate, we survived.
We did.
Only just.
And we haven't hit the water.
No, not yet. So we're right back as per normal. So, first up, once again, I really appreciate what you guys do. My question to you is this, and I've always been interested in asking this question. It's obviously a challenging job. You've seen a lot of death.
Seen a few, yes.
How do you cope with it?
Everybody does it a different way. Me, when I'm at work, I'm at work. Yes, it's very sad. You're very sad for the family. But as soon as you walk out the door, I have a little switch and I can just. I don't know how, but it just, for me, that is.
Okay, well that's.
Unless it's someone who you've nursed for a while. And then
that hurts a bit deeper.
That comes because then you've built up more of a relationship. I mean, I had one lovely old lady. She was up early in the morning. We started at 7, and she wanted a shower, so we gave her a shower, brushed her hair, fixed her up, sat her down. Morning meds, cup of tea time. Morning tea. She wanted to sit out and face the city and watch the city go by. And I came back the next day. She got a big smile on her face. Dead as a door now.
Really? Big smile on her face, dead as a doornail?
Yep, and they didn't even say, well done, you did a great job, you looked after her really well. They went, geez, you scrubbed her to death. That was the nurse in charge, she was having a laugh. See, that's the kind of humour you've got to have.
Yeah, a very dry sense of humour.
Otherwise, you scrubbed her to death.
Yep.
She had the best shower of her life, she did her hair. Well, I didn't do her hair, I'm no good with hair. I've got 2 sisters, I can't do her hair. But there was no pain, no grimace, no nothing.
She passed away the way that she wanted to pass.
She was sitting down, she was having a morning cup of tea, looking out across beautiful...
Happy as pigs in mud.
Yep.
Wow. So I've got to ask this question, because I know this ride's not very, very long. What's the funniest thing you've had to deal with the customer? Come on.
Oh. I told you before.
I know, but you got to tell them.
I'm invading. Well, I'm not.
Well, you don't. You're not going to say the person's name, and we're not saying where the person's town comes from, are we? In this well, no.
No, Brisbane. No.
No.
Well, Brisbane, even if you say Brisbane.
Yeah, I mean, there's millions of people in Brisbane,
and there's millions of hospitals. Yes, a light bulb.
Yeah,
inserted in a specific orifice.
Okay, so how did it come about? So he wasn't sitting, was he?
No, he was
standing.
I don't know, just trying to illuminate some things, maybe. It wasn't plugged in by the time he got to
well,
the
I'm
hospital.
pretty sure it wasn't. Unless it was, and we have a whole different conversation.
Yes.
So how did you deal with that? What was a step by step of that protocol?
You got home with a bruised lip. You're just standing there waiting for.
Well, how I explained it is this: is that you, the guy standing, you ask him to sit,
No.
and then he goes, I can't, and you go, what's up your ass?
No, well, that's not quite how it went.
Okay,
And
so
he was standing. He came in laying on his side, obviously.
Yep.
And then he was ambulatory, so we take him to ambulatory care. And the guy at the front has already done the triage, and that's quite funny. And he's laughing his head off. He says nothing. He just passes the paperwork. And then we're looking at the paperwork, and it's like, and at the bottom it's got now cannot remove said item. Now cannot said red item. You just scan these things real quick, just to, you know.
That stopped you, right? That stopped you.
Yeah, you get stopped there. It's like can't remove said item, and then you go back to the top and you start reading properly. I mean, we scan things. As nurses, we've already done an assessment before we generally have said a word to you in our own minds.
Yep.
You know, someone's got a big bandage on their head. You know, they're not in a resus or whatever. So you know that it's probably could be a serious injury to their head. It may be concussion, maybe. But all of these things are going through your head, and you've had that assessment period in your head. You've done that, and then the next thing you know is that this guy can't sit down, and he's telling you, and you get to a section, you read, oh, they've done this, oh, they've done that, and every nurse does that, but we don't judge.
Well, no. Well, but judging is a bad thing.
You always, if you judge anything, it always makes it's always wrong. Your judgment is generally always wrong.
Okay. So, did the doctors remove it, or did you guys have to do it?
The doctors removed it. They gave him a light
Sedative.
and let's just say we relaxed his muscles.
Oh, mate.
And it went home the same way it came in.
Oh, really?
Unbroken.
Unbroken. Oh, mate. You know that story has absolutely made my day. Every time I talk to people about the experience of knowing you, and I'm going to regret this, I think, for the rest of my friggin' life, is that every time I talk to people, I go, oh, mate, you should see a mate of mine. He's a nurse, contract nurse. He had to deal with people, you know, with things up their arse.
Well, I can tell you another funny one.
Okay.
Working in the mental health side as well is I was sitting in a review one afternoon with a guy who was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, and the doctor's just doing his thing, assessing him, talking to him, and he goes, how do you feel about the diagnosis? He says, I don't agree with the paranoid schizophrenia things, but to be honest, at the moment I'm in hospital and I'm in two minds as to whether I have it or not. And that's true as the day, as long as he said that. I'm in two minds as to whether the diagnosis
Did people lose themselves?
is correct. And the doctor just looked at me and he went, I think we're finished.
How given? A lot.
Well, he was back in only because he missed his depot, but it was just so funny. He was dead straight, and another.
So he was dead serious about it?
He was dead serious. I'm in two minds as to whether I actually have it or not. Obviously not knowing the context of schizophrenia.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then another guy who needed to go on to medication, and he's actually a local from around here, and I won't tell you what his name is or anything, but he's very funny.
No, he's not talking about me, by the way.
No, he had his shot before we left. There's this guy was living here, and he's come in, and he's missed his medication for a while. Same story. Missed his medication for a while, and he's in a review with the doctor, and the doctor said, how do you feel about going, instead of taking tablets and having to remember them, we give you an injection that lasts for over a month or whatever, and we'll drive along, we'll find you, we'll give you the injection, no problem. And he went, how about you try one? I said, I'm quite happy to take the tablets, and if I forget, who cares? But you try the injection and let me know how you go with it. But I just wonder how many psychiatrists or mental health doctors have actually tried the medication.
Oh, I don't.
Just for the fun
I
of
think
it.
stuff all. I think like all medical professions, a new drug comes out and they go, if you go and look after us, we're going to look after you. I mean, they don't go on these fancy holidays by paying it themselves, mate.
No, and they do make, some of them make nurses' lives hard with the amount of medication that they leave us to play with for some.
And do you think sometimes, now I know this is getting serious for a second, but do you think sometimes people are over medicated?
Probably not in a mental health setting. Generally, in my experience, they're under medicated. But it's in all medicine, it's better to give less than more, because once you've given it,
Because there's side effects to everything that you have.
You can't take it back either. You know,
Yeah.
so if you've given it, you can't generally take it back.
Yeah.
So you're better off to go a bit lower. But after you've had someone in hospital for 2 or 3 weeks and there's no real improvement, then you've got to start asking
You can evaluate that situation.
different questions.
Yeah. What is the true root cause of why they're actually there for that period of
And
time?
sometimes some people like the way they're living, they like their lifestyle, they like what they're doing,
Wow.
and you can't change that.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, for all the best intentions in the world that we have to get them well and functioning.
Do you think COVID? I personally think COVID has made many alcoholics and drug addicts. I think what the shutdown did in Australia and around the world has made a lot more people susceptible to alcoholism and drugs. That's what I think. I think because of the isolation and that the only things that were open to stimulate themselves was the alcohol or drugs. What do you think?
For me, I mean, a lot of people didn't go out, didn't do anything. They were having obviously deliveries and whatever, and
I just see a lot more people drinking a lot harder than what they should have.
I think a lot of people decided that I'm off. Let's have a few more beers, and probably that's hit some people. But I mean, you could have a look at the bottle load figures and see what happened there.
I would
if
be,
there was a spike
yeah,
or not.
I'd be interested to see what if there has been, if it's still at that level or it's spiked a lot
I'm
higher.
sure
and
it
stayed
did. There was a
consistent.
lot of things that spiked. I mean, even arts and crafts. I know for my own family, they were doing more arts and crafts.
Yeah.
You know, they were still doing their schoolwork, but my son in particular, he was probably getting his schoolwork done a lot faster at home and spending more time out the back kicking the football and doing other stuff.
Do you think your children not being at school benefited them or hindered them?
That's a 50-50. I think when they studied better, they got their work done, and their schoolwork was done.
They could then play and have fun.
Yeah, and then they could have fun. Whereas they're at school, they're jibber jabbing, they're chatting, they're messing with their friends, they're on break. They need to, this all.
So what do you think about the masks? How the kids they're talking a lot about the kids. They have the masks, and they've lost that form of communication because facial expressions is everything when it comes to communication. That's how the kids learn to communicate, through facial expressions.
Good and bad, and I don't think the masks affected too much because a lot of the visualization is from your eyes, your eyebrows, and laughing obviously is smiling, but even when you laugh, your eyes move.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can still get plenty of cues from your eyes.
And see, this is one of the reasons why I do this format, is because a lot of people don't ask those sorts of questions. Like a lot of people would say to me, "Oh, why do you ask these sorts of questions?" I said, "Because I've got children."
Yeah.
I mean, they're a lot older, than the young kids, but every age experienced COVID and the aftermaths of COVID differently.
Yeah, it's all different.
And everyone has a different interpretation. So from a medical point of view, what you guys obviously had to deal with it.
Social awkwardness is more now prevalent, I think, in kiddies, and just being painful on the streets with no ramifications. Because during COVID, if you had to go on a bus or you were out, you were supposed to do the right thing. 1.5. The kiddies didn't bother, and there was no one there to stop that. And if you said anything as general public, you'd be public enemy number one on the bus. You know,
Yeah.
they would definitely be at you, and that's just carried through. I think they're just worse now, and I think maybe that's something to do with the way society's changed as well, where we've got more parents that grew up in the hippy dippy days where it was okay to have Friday weekend happy days out on the drugs and everything, but now Fridays, Sundays, working week has disappeared.
Yep.
They're just on drugs and things throughout
Yep.
the week, so the kiddies just follow the same. There's no
Yep.
they have a free rein to do whatever they're doing, because either the parents are at home and they can't do anything, they're off their face. It's
Yep.
all instant on the phone.
Yep.
Need food, takeaway,
It's all there.
McDonald's.
It's always there.
So there's no parenting, and there's no, you're losing communities.
Yeah.
We're losing social connections and communities.
And see, that's the great thing about, you know, when I hang out with you all the time, you know, we're always talking about different things. You know, we're getting involved, we're interacting, we're asking questions. I think a lot of people now don't communicate. They're not willing to make sure that their neighbours and friends and the people around them are okay. We've lost our empathy completely. We're basically all isolationists now. You know, it's what's in it for me. You know, it's all about me,
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
and not we. I think we've lost the word we.
Well, I think if you, I don't know about in Tasmania, but certainly in Brisbane, you can move house to a brand new suburb. And when I bought my first house, I think 4 or 5 neighbours. This was way back when.
Yeah.
They would come along. There'd be,
To say
here's a
g'day.
bottle of
Yeah.
wine.
Yeah.
They'd have the cheese platter.
Yeah.
My name's such and such. I live at number 2.
Yeah.
If you need anything, nowadays it's like you can see them.
Yeah.
Curtain twitchers again, back to the 1960s. But I mean, even the curtain twitchers were good because they were part of the community. It was like, who's that? What
Yeah.
are they doing? Oh,
Yeah.
oh, it's just
New people.
he's got himself a new car.
Yeah.
But they were still part of your community,
Community.
and they knew what you. But nowadays they don't care.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if you knock on this door and ask them if they knew that people over there, and the same going down and down and down, and you'd get a few that would know their next door neighbours, and they've probably been there long-standing people that have been there for a long time. But the rest of them, I mean, they wouldn't
no
know.
clue.
They wouldn't know who's in our house.
Yeah. Yeah.
They wouldn't know who's in our
I
house
wouldn't
at
have a
all.
clue.
Wouldn't know that it's a house full of nurses, full of people trying to help do some work in the community. But that's you definitely, there's definitely a loss of social connection.
Well, let's hope with this conversation we can start opening up, you know, conversation through people commenting on, you know, how we're going to be able to do better. I think many hands makes light work. The more people that we can get involved to start helping each other, to say things don't have to be this hard, or don't have to be this difficult, I think everyone will benefit from that. So that's all I can hope for, is that this format has a way of helping people to start asking if their neighbours are okay, you know, saying hello to their neighbours, checking in on them, making sure they're okay. I know at my home, I see my neighbours walking their dog all the time, and I always acknowledge them. I always say hello.
Yep.
I ask if they're okay, and I think that's just part of being a good neighbour, you know, because, you know, if I had a problem, I would hope to be able to go there and say, hey, can you help us?
Well, we're all the same. We're all people.
Yep.
And we all need the same things.
Mm.
There's no one person that has everything and doesn't need anything. That if there's a person or people out there that need absolutely nothing, they're not people.
No.
Because it doesn't matter how much money you have, it's your social connections that keep you together.
Mm.
And here in Tasmania, because the communities are a lot smaller, people from Devonport sort of, what I've noticed is that they kind of stick together.
Yes.
They support the local business things.
Yes. They're not willing to
Tourists
expect.
can't find them. We have no idea where we go and get our fruit and veg except horrible cars.
Let me tell you, the first time I met Pelican here, he goes, "What's closer, Woolworths or Coles?" I said, "Well, as the crow flies, it would be Woolworths." And you went, "Okay." I said, "But it's not going to be close. We up and down hills, up and down hills." And you went, "Oh, there's no way I could walk that."
Well, it
And I'm
looks
going,
fat on Google Maps.
yes. Yeah, everything looks flat on Google Maps.
Need to add some topography to
They should. Well, guys, I just firstly want to say, like I said to you, mate, hey, you want to say hello to them first?
No, I don't need to say it. People will know me. If they do, they do. If they don't, they don't.
So, once again, guys, like, subscribe. We're on YouTube, Rumble. Remember, comment, like, subscribe, tell your friends. Other than that, thanks, mate. I appreciate you.
Well, welcome.
And we appreciate you as well.